Hey, welcome to my video blog. I'll show you around the place. Just in there is a youth young adults pastor who doesn't work hard enough. And there's the children's pastor who does all the work. There's Mr. Lazy, Mr. Diligent. Sarah's for the website, davegilpin.com. Say hello, quick.
Hello.
So you're doing a great job there.
Thank you.
And,
My name is Joy. I work here at Mega Centre and I love Hope City Church because I actually really do believe this.
Yes.
The leaders are absolutely the business.
yes, the business.
They are.
Blah de blah blah
And
blah blah. Blah
There you
blah.
go.
Everybody says that. Okay, here's the media department. Hey Joe, just say something, mate.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? Hey,
Media, changing the world.
Hey.
One movie at a time.
Oh, that's great.
Hi.
This is Siobhan.
Hello, hello. Who am I talking to?
davegilpin.com.
Oh, hello, davegilpin.com. Bye-bye.
My latest work of art. It's not my latest, but look, it's 3 spades stuck on the wall. So I'll show you. It's just down here. There's the corridor, and it's good. Look what it says there. It says it's better to burn out than fade away. Hey, that's a bit from Neil Young, isn't it? Better to burn out than fade away. Get it? Playing on the words. Anyway. My, how time flies. I've had a great week though. I didn't have Monday off. I usually have Mondays off to go to the gym and relax a bit, have a bit of a quiet time and watch telly and spend time with my wife. It's a rare event nowadays. And but I went on a pastor's retreat in Lincoln and with a whole bunch of 16 or so pastors. It's the best thing that I do. It happens every 6 months. We go overnight and just spend our time chatting over issues and things like that, and I love it. And you know why I love it? It's because every time I speak I feel like I really say what I think in a really positive mindset, attitude. And you know, sometimes in some situations you want to say something, when you say something it never quite comes out right. That never happens with this group of ministers. You know, when I say something I seem to say it well, and it's not too long, not too short. But you know why I think it is? I think it's because these guys really celebrate me, and I you know, really believe in the principle of celebration, that when you celebrate people, when you've got faith in someone, it brings out the very best in them. And so these guys all like me. It's good to be liked. And these guys all celebrate me. They all think that I'm you know, creative, and they kind of know what we're doing with the church and that, and it just brings out the very best in me. And I've been in so many places where I haven't been celebrated, and so it's just brilliant to be in a place of great celebration. And you know, sometimes we put up with you know, not being valued like we ought to be valued, and sometimes that's good for character, but it's not good for a lifestyle. You know, it's good when God's trying to create a sense of identity within you and trying to break down a sense of self-importance. But after you've broken through some of those things, then it's great. So I absolutely loved it. 2 days. Can't wait for the next one. And we talked through various issues. One thing we talked about was the Florida healing meetings that, you know, maybe are still going, but in a very small measure. And what went wrong with Florida, what went wrong with the lead evangelist, and so I talked through, you know, issues of immorality now. But one thing that I said that I really believe in is that the major problem with hotspots like Florida and places where God's really at work doing healings is that we call it a move of God. And the moment you call something a move of God, you almost cop the backlash of that and almost say that God's not really moving where I am. And I just think that's deadly. And the reason why so many churches split and so many people go to places like Florida isn't for the healing, it's to be where it's at. And which means that it's not really where it's at, where you're at. And so I really believe in the principle of celebration over the place where you're at. And you want to believe this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, that this is the place where God's moving. And I've tried to create that atmosphere and really tried to get rid of inferiority and get rid of a lack of confidence in my own mind, thinking Sheffield is where it's at, Newcastle's where it's at, Liverpool's where it's at, Leeds is where it's at. That's the places where we have our 4 congregations. And it's not exclusive, it's just so believing that we're doing a great thing for God that, you know, even if there was a huge hotspot happening in Berlin, it'd be a side event for us because, you know, we might visit it, but it certainly wouldn't take place from what we're doing, because we believe that 95% of everything we're doing is absolutely brilliant. Leaves 5% for error, always making some mistakes, 5% for the gazumping of God, not 100% knowledge of what God's up to, but 95% there. And I think that's the strength of everything that we do, to believe that we're it. And we're center stage. And it's not egotism, it's actually getting a full sense of calling and a full sense of the knowledge that what we're doing is essential. We're not an added extra. We're essential in what God's doing. And so thank God only a few people went to Florida from our church when it was really moving in that. But some of the churches had a lot of people go. And I think, this isn't putting down anyone, but I think sometimes when there's a lack of a sense of destiny, people try and find it by discovering destiny in other places instead of unwrapping destiny where they're at. Often say when I preach, I used to say that if I gave £10 million to every person in my congregation and they could do what they liked with it, that I'd hope that a lot of them would sow it back into the local church. Sometimes I say that if you could do anything in life, had no responsibility, you had £10 million, where would you go? And I'd be hoping a lot of people say, well, I'd just stay right here because this is brilliant. And, a lot of people romanticize ministries to the poor, and they're vital ministries, but they romanticize them and romanticize Mother Teresa, great woman of God. But, often we romanticize certain ministries of reaching unreached people tribes and paddling down the Congo, and it's all good. But if that's overrated, and if what we're doing in ordinariness is underrated, we're in big trouble. The great rewards come to people who tackle ordinary situations with an extraordinary God and make them extraordinary. Take the water and turn it into wine rather than travel the world to find wine. You know what I mean? Take ordinary clay pots and let the miracle happen. And I often say that the person sitting next to Jesus Christ after we all go to heaven may not be a Mother Teresa, it might be, but it might just be a housewife in Leeds, someone who is faithful to a local church and were diligent through the ordinary. Sometimes extraordinary situation, it's maybe easier than through the ordinariness of life. So I want to take ordinary people, ordinary situations, ordinary culture, and people to really turn it into wine through the power of their faith. So anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about that. I just went off preaching, and I've made it a determined effort not to preach on these videos, and I've just spent the last couple of minutes preaching. So big apologies for that. A great stage of life in our church at the moment. It's starting to grow. I can pull my hair out with regards to the miraculous of God and with regards to growth, because you just can't predict it. And you expect it. It's the same with healing. You do healing. We had a big healing time last weekend, and you just can't predict who'll get healed, who won't currently get healed, who'll get instant healings. And sometimes we think, it's because of our faith in that. I just think it's unpredictable. Some people still living in sin get healed. Some people who, what we'd call a really good, clean life, don't get healed immediately. And so it's a little bit unpredictable. And I've learned that about God, that you want to bring him down to principles, and we want to expect great things in God, but you just can't predict when it's going to happen. And it's a bit like that with church growth. We so want the church to grow and impact our cities, but when that happens, it just, so it's happening now. So I thank God for it. I've been expecting it for so many years. It's a great season in the life of our church. But I think sometimes God makes it unpredictable so that we give him all the glory and we don't just bring it down to human or the principles, aren't I a great leader? Blah blah blah. I'm going on and on. I've got to go because these are supposed to be only about 5 minutes long. So have a great weekend, have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week. Hey, write to me on davegilpin.com and tell me what you think about everything on the website. I've put my new mind map on. It's copyright, but I've put my new the actual map of the believer's mind on the website. So why don't you have a good look at that and let me know what you think, and I'll see you soon. Bye.